I suspect he's waiting in the wings for an opportunity. I don't know whether I would say he's a new Pochettino. I think Benitez is a very decent manager, and at times has been an excellent manager. But I wouldn't say he's now where Pochettino is. I think Pochettino is coming through, and Benitez is probably levelling out. I am an admirer of certain aspects of Rafa Benitez because clearly he can put teams together. And clearly he can work at certain levels. Otherwise, you wouldn't get to manage teams like Real Madrid, albeit a short tenure that he had there. But I'm not a huge admirer of the way that he presents himself into the media and the way that he utilises the media to impart messages. Yeah. And some would say, well, that's because you're a former owner and you're looking at it from a one-dimensional point of view. There's this notion, and again, sharp intake from Newcastle fans that loathe some of the things I say, but he was all for Newcastle. Rafa Benitez is one of those managers, and if you talk to football people, and I have done on many occasions, that's all about Rafa Benitez. He is about Rafa Benitez, Rafa Benitez, and Rafa Benitez. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, but when you're portraying an image of something very different and you have a different outlook, it becomes something that I'm slightly challenged by. Be what you are. Be honest about what you are. And the notion that he was in it for Newcastle and because of Newcastle and was all with Newcastle, I think is nonsense. I think Rafa Benitez was in it for Rafa Benitez, wanted to get the best opportunity, got a hefty salary from the devil incarnate, the Kaiser Solskjaer of football, Mike Ashley. Yeah. And they didn't connect. And of course, Benitez outed him in the press. Outed him regularly on the basis of what he felt that he should and shouldn't be given. But to go to your question, yeah, the moment you see these guys popping up, and you'll see him popping up in the media, you saw him earlier on in the season, so you knew that move, which had no football integrity to it. If you're an elite manager, if you believe you're up there, which is what Benitez does believe he is, with the Pochettinos of the world when they were in the Premier League, and you believe you should be at a club that is befitting of that, then you wouldn't go to China. You go to China to get paid.
Which is what he did.
Which is what he did.
12 million a year.
I don't begrudge people getting paid because everyone has a choice and everyone has a life to lead and I believe in bettering yourself economically if you can.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about meritocracy and if we're talking about ability, you don't go to China to get paid. You stay in amongst the elite and you stamp your claim to being an elite manager. So coming back to English football, where would I see him potentially landing? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen in some of these clubs?
But you think he's diminished his own credibility by going to China?
Yeah, I think so. I think he diminished his own credibility in the eyes of certain owners by some of the conduct that he had in Newcastle. I also look at his performances. They were in descendants. He didn't land at Newcastle with due respect because his career was in ascendancy. He landed at Newcastle because that was a club that was getting relegated from the Premier League, that was in the Championship. He was on the downward spiral out of Madrid because he couldn't cut it at that level. Yeah. Challenged at Napoli. Yeah. And at Newcastle. So we'll see. But back he'll come, the Spanish waiter, with all the sentiment to go around him and people saying he's got to be shoehorned into a job. And you can see him landing at places like Wolverhampton Wanderers if the tarnish really comes off Espirito Santos.